Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and today I am joined by Susan and Ethan, and we're sitting down today to discuss the final season, which seems like it's taken forever. The fifth and final season of Stranger Things. Um, Many people loved it. Many people were disappointed with it. Many people were a bit slightly confused, and still are. But this is the ending of what was going on in Hawkins, in the Upside Down. So, we'll go to opening thoughts. We'll go Susan first, and then we'll go to Ethan. Susan.
All right. Well, this was this was a great vessel, a great project for Winona Ryder and David Harbour. Those two got to do a lot of different kinds of things. Um, I was really pleased with what they did with this show. And the other thing is those kids have all grown up now. So now they're all like, I guess they're close to adulthood at this point, and so they really did need to wrap it up this season, because next season, they might be sporting beards and
Well,
wearing hipster gear, and
yeah, well, most of them are in the 20s now. So,
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like they're gonna they look way too college age. I don't know, university. And maybe there'd be university challenge, but there's no uni in Hawkins. There's no real sense that there was even really a school there. I mean, hardly at all. None of these. There was hardly any academics involved in this program. The uh, the 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 other thing that this last season was a way of really establishing the price of freedom for Creel, the price of freedom for Vecna. It Vecna was stuck attached to the mind flayer for the entire length of his uh, adolescence and into his adulthood, and so he was definitely a son of a bitch. And but there was this whole theory online, that Henry Creel was actually the protagonist, and he was going to demolish the mind flayer. Excuse me, I spoke myself there. Mind flayer, and establish a different kind of setup. Maybe out of his mind. Maybe create that sort of place. But he was never, unless you were in the mind space with him, there was never any place for that. The other part and parcel of this was all the government people or scientist people. And this time there was Dr. K, who was Linda Hamilton, who, was epic in earlier science fiction. So it's kind of great that she came and played that part. And um, I just, I enjoyed this so much. I didn't think it would. I didn't think the ending was too bad. It did give them a lot of things, to especially with the after sort of come down. It reminded me a lot of Twin Peaks that way.
mm,
And then there was the whole setup for I mean, then you gotta ask yourself, what happened with all the Russian stuff? I mean, is there still stuff going on across the on the other side of the world? I just enjoyed it a lot. So, um, oh, and the upside down being sort of a a Stargate, if you will.
An abyss.
Yeah, an abyss.
A wormhole.
Yeah. So all of that to be said, it was good. Uh, yeah, that's my opening thoughts. Back to you, Lee.
Thanks, Susan. Right, we'll move over to Ethan. What's your take, opening thoughts on this season?
Yeah, I mean, like we said, I can't believe it's bloody what 2016 this started. I remember getting into this, and just to see, I feel like every season has been it's been like balanced, like consecutively balanced, and just getting, and it gets better and it reveals stuff. So, and of course, such a long wait for this one, but I this is I was genuinely worried because this was a show I treasured, like probably one of the best modern shows of today, up there with like The Boys as like modern shows. Just I would put this
Yeah.
as number one, like because I love the way the story, the style of it, the 80s. Um, but what they delivered here, I was very much happy with it. I know, like, there was a bit of a dip in the middle, I would say, which is understandable, but it delivered on a high, really. And I felt like everybody delivered great. Like David Harbour and Winona Ryder, absolutely brilliant. And I do want to say a big shout out to like another one of my favorite characters, Brett Gelman as Murray, who who's
Yeah,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Great moments with Dustin and Steve, who are other favorites of mine, which I'll probably get to moments later about that. Um, and no, just like yeah, I've seen some people don't like they didn't like it or understood it, but I think these days some people are desperate to find a reason to hate something. Like the Superman movie. I saw the Superman movie and I bloody loved it. I thought it was great. And I think sometimes like some people they want to find a reason to hate something and just go, oh, I didn't like it. But I'm like, well, I've seen worse. I've seen like, well, I remember a certain show called Lost, which left me lost.
yeah.
I'll never forget that one. Are we going to find out about that?
Right,
No.
right.
Are we going to find out about that smoke monster? No. Well, what about the island? No. Are we gonna? No, we're not gonna find out. Is it? So, but I really enjoyed what they did, and there was like some really great stuff. Like I feel like they covered so much on it, really. At least the main gist of it, like the main parts. Because there was one moment where it did get to like I had seen something, like I knew they did a stage show of this, and I
Yes.
saw something where someone was saying, "Oh, you have to see the stage show to know what they're going to be talking about." And I thought, "Oh my god,
Uh,
I should have seen a stage show for this. I don't have the money for this. Some of
but
us don't have the money for
that's
this."
only available in London and in New York,
Yeah,
not in
Yeah.
Not in Los Angeles, and no other place.
and not in Scotland either for me. So, but but a lot of people were saying no, it sort of covers a bit. So I had to look up the show to know what they were talking about. But in this, they sort of covered at least bits of it, at least the bits that sort of cover like give us answers. It delivered a great villain in that of Vecna and the Mind Flayer, and which eventually it did, didn't it? It becomes a real life Dungeons and Dragons battle. That's what it essentially was. It becomes Dungeons and Dragons, and I loved all the twists and reveals in it. Like, I love the reveal of the wormhole. I mean, you can imagine me like every time I watch
Right?
something, when they show the wormhole, I was thinking, what is this going to be? And when they show the wormhole, that camera pan, I was just like, oh my god, like, and the reveal, like little bits of it, like when they showed that it was like what the real place is, which is the abyss. Essentially, it's Dimension X, basically. And I was like, "Where the bloody hell are they now?" And they showed the planet, and I was like, "Wait, this is it? What's that?" Was but there were some great reveals, great twists, and a great ending that I feel the characters kind of deserved after the hell they've all been through and stuff and all the battles, which kind of was reminiscent of an 80s movie. If you grew up watching 80s films and TV shows, they gave a great send off to everybody. And I think everybody delivered, really. They all got great happy endings. Um, a great soundtrack, particularly one song which I didn't think they were. I was surprised they played. I'm sure you can all guess which one it was. Purple
Uh,
Rain.
oh, Purple Rain, yes.
Yeah, Purple Rain, which I thought what a perfect job. But so many other song choices as well, like which are now everybody's going to be buying. Diana Ross, Upside Down, Prince songs, loads of them. But I felt it did. Like I felt like it was a really good build, some good reveals, and like the first four episodes, it really built up some great action scenes. And yeah, the second half was a bit slower, a bit of a dip, but it made up for it with this big finale, which
Mhm.
delivered delivered very well. Um, yeah, I think it's just for me. I think they delivered very well, and for me, this is the best ending I've seen for a TV show in a long, long time. For me personally, just because like it's probably the best we're going to get. And some people will be happy, some people won't be happy. For me, I was happy with it. Like after watching it and it delivering a lot of stuff, even I was emotional by the end of it, thinking, "Wow, they actually did a good job with it. They did a good job." Because there's some shows where we love, and it can end up going so kaputs, and you think, "Oh no," but for me, I think it did well. And we'll probably talk about like probably certain other things later on and stuff, like certain moments or storylines and episodes and stuff. But for me, yeah, I it's been a long time coming, but I think for me, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what they did with it, and yeah, good job on Stranger Things for keeping it good.
Cool, cool. Right. Thanks for that, Ethan. Um, right then. Yes, I liked it. I've been following this show for, since day one. Um, 80s for me all the time, anything 80s. But you this season you did see the kids aging, and this
Yeah,
season is only supposed to be the year after season four.
yeah, that
Yeah,
that's
uh,
probably one of the problems I was going to mention, like later
yeah.
on and stuff.
You could see that the way growing up.
Yeah, they were.
This season took a while to make, but the story, yeah, I like the story. It was giving everybody something to do. Action, the ending, the last episode, did it need to be over 2 hours long? No,
No,
I don't think so.
it could have been shortened probably, but
Yeah, because if you look at it, Vecna and the Man Flayer is destroyed within an hour or just over an hour, and
yeah,
then you've got about 50 minutes.
50 minutes of like, yeah, I think
People sat there.
my favorite phrase for this was they Lord of the Rings it.
Yeah, they were just sat
Lord of the
there.
Rings it. They've beaten Sauron, but we've still got this other bit going on. You're like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
and I was thinking, did they need all this? I believe, and they were crying. I think, oh, God. Um, I can understand why people were happy with this sort of ending because it did go on for quite a while.
Yeah, it did go on.
Um,
It was nice, but like you said, it did go on for quite a bit. And I think there's certain bits they could have maybe just
yeah,
trimmed down a bit.
The music that they added over the course of those 2 hours. I mean, they had like David Bowie, and they had
yeah. Music don't make everything though.
Cowboy
You've got,
Junkies.
yeah, you've got to. You see, great, great action, great effects, and you had the gang all split up into different teams. So it took nearly half of the season nearly most of the season to get back together again.
Yeah.
I don't know if that dynamic worked better than other seasons where they weren't together. I don't know about that. Though I mean, there were some missing characters what never appeared in this season, and I thought they would have used them. I mean, what happened to Argyle, the druggy pizza guy?
Oh yeah,
From last season?
yeah,
What happened to? I mean, Max was in hospital in a coma all this time. Where was her mother? Because her mother was in other seasons.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm thinking you've got to tie up loose ends here. You've got to have some characters what were in other seasons, but
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I am going to pick at this because there is some certain things. What I agree with other people in the community saying, is this the end, or is there going to be that secret episode coming up disguised as a documentary? Who
Mm.
knows?
Or and the other possibility is there another? Are they going to do another stage play or whatever?
Well, in interviews, what's his name? Is it Jamie Campbell Bower,
Jamie.
who plays
Oh.
Henry Vecna,
Yeah.
Mr. Watson? In
Right.
recent interviews, I don't know if he's winding the audience up or like that. He said, just says Vecna lives.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Oh.
Um, you hear the crowd, you go, the audience going, whoa, 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 whoa. I think that was on is it the Jimmy Fallon show and stuff like that. So you're getting all these fans thinking into, did the kids actually win? Or are they living in a memory,
A construct.
a construct? Because there was no way in
I think that the question isn't a memory. The question is Al is 11 creating all of this in her mind because of what the noble sacrifice.
well, but you say not in reality would Hop ever be allowed to be sheriff again with all the gun-toting killing he did in the past 5 seasons. 5 seasons, even if it was to survive and save people, but the law enforcement won't have him back. No way.
Oh.
Um,
Unless he joined ICE.
we're a non-political group, Susan.
Oops. Sorry.
Good one. but also, the final scene before the credits roll. Well, as the credits rolled, Stranger Things role-playing game manual. Was it all a game?
I think maybe I think that's probably just like
Playing
just
with our
a
heads.
little
That's what they're doing.
fun little thing they did, isn't it? Because the whole connection with Dungeons and Dragons. I think they just sort of like just did that as if a way to say like, you know, just almost it did become like Dungeons and Dragons for them. Or maybe in a way it could have been Will. No, not Will. Mike.
Mike.
Mike, who does the writing. Maybe that's what he did. In a way, he wrote that. Could have been.
Yeah.
He wrote that.
They've left the ending so ambiguous. Everybody's reading it differently.
Yeah.
Which I don't. Yeah, that's quite good for I like that because people can make up their own minds as to say, is this is how it ends? This is this is the reality of it all, or are they living in a construct or a memory of something? Or was they playing a game all along from season one up to now?
Who
You
knows?
know,
Yeah. I
who
suppose,
knows?
yeah, it's quite nice that everybody does sort of like have their own unique perspectives on the ending.
Yeah, I know some
Uh,
people want a definitive stamp on it and saying we want the
yeah,
answer.
yeah. For me, I think it was just like if that was the ending, I was kind of happy with it. I mean, I do get like that there are things I would love to point out that I can complain about. Um, but I saw just went well, I like some of them. I just thought, if this is the end, I suppose it's decent enough. I do agree, like it did go on very Lord of the Rings, Return of the King style, where it just went on. And I did because I remember watching this and I was like, wait a minute. Hold on, what's the rest of this minutes? We've been the bad guys here, so what's the rest of
Another
it?
hour. We've got another hour to go.
Here we go, another
And
hour
they
to go. What's this? Which yeah,
and it was the substance of what was being fed to the kids. Was that like that the the little the little spores of the demogorgons, or was it just the mystical fog from the mind flayer?
yeah,
That wasn't explained. I mean, no. When you
It was it was it
yeah.
was it looked like supernatural when demons were being expelled.
What I kind of
yeah,
thought of with the Mind Flayer, which I did like actually. I liked how they revealed he's been the main villain all this time. Um,
And he lives in that thing that looks like it's out of dark crystal.
yeah, because yeah, it did actually. It looked like the castle. I remember making a joke about that, saying like, "Bloody hell,
but,
it's Skeksis
but
Dark
that was
Palace."
but that was the man flayer with
That
its
was the
legs up.
Mind Flayer. So
What?
what I assumed was like when Henry found the stone. Um, Again, they might not explain that. I did look this up with the theater, and it does explain. Like, supposedly it was like what was that project they did where there was a ship and they wanted to turn it invisible.
Well, Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so it was based on that. They ended up going to Dimension X, but I suppose sometimes we watch stuff and we might not get answers. It's your imagination to sort of do. So I kind of thought, well, could imagine maybe they just experimented and they just somehow got it. This thing came through something. And I always assumed, so what I'm assuming with the Mind Flayer is like, it was like its soul, it was its spirit, and it needed Henry's help. That's how it said to him, find me. And it needed Henry to sort of like bring back its body, So for all the time, we've seen its soul, its spirit like
Mm-hmm,
floating around and stuff. And then eventually,
mm-hmm.
because you didn't see much of the spirit side of the Mind Flayer, only when it went into the kids and it would leave their mouths and disperse,
But
it.
when the first season, there was that little bit of it that became Dart,
Yep, there was that
and
bit.
Dart became a Demogorgon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I figured, like, in a way, that, like, because that's how, like, he needed the kids and stuff like that, and they got this, like, somehow the smoke version got its body back and showed its true form. Like, I'm alive, the Mind Flayer. I live for about 5 minutes. But
Yeah, I mean,
or five
I'll,
or 10 minutes or something. I can't remember how many minutes it was.
there's as I say before we started the cast, I was talking to Ethan about the fan discussions about um, this supposedly extra episode and the connections
Mhm.
with Wes Craven's new Nightmare movie,
Mhm.
which was Freddy 7, I think it was, where Freddy Krueger comes out of dreams into reality and starts killing the real actors.
Mhm.
A lot of people have been putting connections to this movie and this season of Stranger Things. Um, I, I know some people it could be clutching at straws, but we say we've got Henry wearing a similar hat as Freddy. We've got Robert England playing Henry's father in last season.
His father, yeah, right.
Mhm.
Yeah. We've also got some imagery of when in the at the end of this episode, the last episode, where they're all um, in the gowns, the orange gowns. In the background, there's someone there holding up a yellow board. That was a scene from A New Nightmare where someone was holding up a yellow board and it said "Freddy lives." So there's, I don't know if the Duffer Brothers are just messing with us,
Yeah, or maybe it's like just one of them theories that sort of
or
like
just homages. I don't know. But the fandom has just gone completely insane
Oh, they have.
in the
They've gone.
past week.
I think some of them have been overthinking a bit. Because I didn't really think about that until
Yeah,
you mentioned it. Like I now remember Freddy's New Nightmare, like that
yeah,
bit. But I don't know. I just kind of thought like we were just getting their happy ending, really. Because some of the like, yeah, it should have been shortened. Um,
yeah.
I mean, we could have had the graduation and then see them all get their little bits of happy ending, but that's it. It did go on for
Yeah.
a long while,
I
but
mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. It was a good watch. It was a nice ending to a 5 season story.
uh-huh.
Um, you get
At
to,
least,
get you what, Susan?
and at least we got to see like the other family members get sucked into all the trauma.
Oh yeah, I have to say, yeah, it was nice to see Mike's mum get more
Yeah,
involved. Who was
that's what
bloody
I'm on
brilliant.
about
She was great,
exactly.
and
They only concentrated on the mum. What about the dad?
No, right?
yeah,
And also as well, this is another thing. What I picked on. Uh, right, Vecna sent the demi dog,
Gorgon.
the
Oh,
demi
the
dog,
dinner dog. Yeah,
um, to get Max in the hospital. Where are all the nurses and doctors? Where were all the other patients when all this was happening? There was nobody about in that hospital. Um,
they
it
probably
was just,
picked
just Max.
they probably picked the floor where it's like, oh, there's least people up there. Let's go get them.
You thinking, well,
And you do look around at the places that you'd be able to ask that question, like Google or whatever, and it does, and
yeah,
everything does that funky flicker thing that the lights do, and
yeah.
they have really built some like proprietary stuff into the way that they are interacting with everybody. I know that the when the hospital lights went off, all of the lights went off. You know, you would have heard all of the machines
Yeah.
suddenly go, alarm. There would be alarms in every room because of that power
So
failure.
yeah. So is this a slip out of reality?
Oh no.
It's messing with my head, Susan.
Well, mind
It
fuckery,
is not about a man flayer, but it's.
right?
But right, well,
And the other thing that was really interesting was like um, the fact that they were able to hide in uh, that one cave part, that one sort of gap in the wall,
Yeah.
And that wall reminded me of Game of Thrones. I mean, there it was, like this huge impassable barrier with, dangerous creatures living right on the other side.
I mean, that memory of Henry's in the cave, was it that bad for him to stop him going into the cave?
I don't know.
Because he eventually ventured into the cave.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if they rushed the ending in some way, in writing the ending, and they said we've
And
got to finish it, and this
yeah,
is how we have to do
it's
it.
quite funny that actually now that you've just mentioned it because I always assumed there was a thing that came up and it said like, oh, the Duffer Brothers were hoping to do like about 8 or 9 seasons, or like no 7, 8, 9 seasons, or something like that. And I was like, really? I don't remember that because from what I remember, they said they had already planned this out as like a Bible, like a 5 chapter Bible. 5 chapters, obviously being season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Oh,
so they had always planned it. And like I said, when this whole thing was, oh, they wanted to do seasons 6, 7, and 8, I was like, oh, I don't remember that. But it is a bit of a strange one. Like, you do wonder, like, was this always planned? Or did they end up like trying to shorten something down and stuff?
Yeah.
Because there were some bits like I did think like the one bit that actually funny enough that really got me thinking like was like when they revealed the whole place was a wormhole. I mean, and they showed that big globe thing.
Yeah.
And they were saying, oh, it wasn't made there and stuff like that. I was trying to wrap my brain around that bit because I'm like, wait, hold on. So Breda made this. They went in. What did?
Well,
How did that
also,
get made? What?
what I couldn't understand was Dustin.
Yeah.
What made him Albert Einstein all of a sudden to
Yeah.
understand the workings of wormholes and um,
What
this
was it?
matter.
Yeah, I nearly said erotic matter, but it's
well,
exotic matter.
he was actually getting better at school all along. That's how he became valedictorian.
I'm positive a kid of that age would never. I mean, I don't understand it. I wouldn't understand the theoryology of wormholes and
Maybe he
of,
just maybe he just did. Maybe he just did at some point, like got really clever and just like read some stuff. But I mean, I know it was written there in Brenner's notebook, and Dustin always kind of was a little bit smarter, like maybe the smart one or something like science and stuff. So
yeah.
maybe he did sort of work it out at some point and just
He
understood.
was the one who pegged what's her name, the sister of um the sister of Lucas, uh
Yeah.
as a nerd, as a brilliant nerd, as someone
Yeah.
who she was also really clever. And the thing with the thing with um the thing with Dustin was that he had he was the only one who actually looked like he was actually attending any school at all. All the
Mm,
rest of the boys were just kind of like, always out. Mike spent all that time,
Hmm.
kind
I
of.
suppose it goes with his ending as well. You know how they said, like, the bard will always be, surrounded by books and stuff like that, but find the odd time to do an adventure. So Mike was right about that. So maybe, yeah, I suppose there's a point there. But that was probably the one bit I
yeah.
go on.
Also as well, I was just wondering when when did Nancy turn into Rambo?
That was kind of always happening, and all of the streaming video, the streaming ads her buying all the Rambo stuff, a baseball bat with spikes through it, like from Walking Dead, and a bandolier full of bullets, and like a flamethrower. She buys it on her new Discover card. You know, it's a new Discover ad. It's basically like this person answering the phone for her, and she's talking to the person at the credit card company and saying, so will I get cash back if I buy this and this and this? And everything that she buys is like just weaponry.
Well, I was watching it and I'm thinking, even her hairstyle, she had the headband, the head straggling
hair. She also a bit of a cross between Rambo and Sigourney Weaver.
I
don't think well,
and they were going to offer Joyce's character to Sigourney Weaver, but Winona jumped at it, and so she got it.
It's when you start picking at it and all like that, but it's still enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, it's still enjoyable. I suppose it's like we're not always going to get everything perfect, and you know, in this day and age, we do nitpick at a lot of things, and we're probably going to spot these things. But it was still an enjoyable watch. Don't get me wrong, and I could go forever because there's a lot of things coming back where I'm like I could nitpick certain scenes and conversations and certain bits where I'm like, really, did we need that?
Okay, Lucas's sister's name is Erica, and I'm sorry I forgot that.
But yeah, there's a lot of things I could nitpick with this one, but there's a lot of things I can praise about this one as well, which sort of like helped it to sort of go, okay, that's not it delivered some things, but there are some things where I was just a bit, huh? How did Brenner get that ball in so he knew? How did he create? Is that how he created this evil version of Hawkins? What? And I sort of just lost. I just thought, just go with it. That's the point.
Also, as well, you for this season, you've got Linda Hamilton playing a new character, Dr. K, the military.
Yeah,
I actually thought she was wasted in this because she didn't really have a lot to do.
Yeah, now that you mention it, there were some scenes like even just like, and she kind of just disappeared after that. I actually thought like, is she going to get killed or something? And that, you know, like, I mean, okay, there's a part of you that thinks we could think like, oh yeah, that's it. Elle was right. As soon as Elle, well, in this case, pretended to die, or did she? We don't know. You know, sacrifice. We'll just say that. You know, did they just go, oh shit, let's go home? Come on. Do you get what I mean?
The military just disappeared.
Yeah, they just disappeared. The Black Hand, as Mike called them, you know, like, oh. Anyway, let's go home. Come on, let's. Yeah, they just disappeared, and you're thinking, well, did they not get arrested for all this stuff that's happened? Did they not? What? Or did they just? I don't know. Just disappear.
Well, it's like as you
home for a cup of tea.
You mentioned the Elle sacrifice. But according to Mike, she survived, or did she? Yeah. Because he said he always wanted to take her to a place in the world where there was 3 waterfalls, and the imagery was there she is looking over 3 waterfalls. But according to Mike,
I think it was 2 waterfalls.
No, it was 3 waterfalls.
Oh, is there? Because it looked like 2 from when I saw it.
But according to Mike, nowhere in the world is there 3 waterfalls together. So that imagery shown there was, you know, reckon that what you will. If there's nowhere in the world where there's 3 waterfalls together, but there they're showing you an image of 3 waterfalls together, is that Mike writing the story? Did he write the story, all along? Who knows? Anyway,
I suppose.
Shall we go through some favourite moments? I know we've gone through some favourite moments, but shall we?
Yeah.
Susan.
Okay, I love it in the I love it when they are uh, there's a lot of really cool stuff that happens up at the radio station, and Robin sitting up there, rocking Robin, that was fun. And also the using the transmitter tower.
Yeah.
That's a real FM transmitter tower. They're um, AM transmitters, amplitude modulation. They have to have a tower array of either 4 or 5 towers so that they can control the direction um, in terms of engineering this. And then, but FM radio only has 1 tower because it doesn't have to be controlled direction rise because it's frequency, not amplitude. So it isn't about it doesn't go out as far. It's just the frequency is the audio is carried on another frequency through the broadcast. And so that was actually a really good way of them to get up there, because eventually, the rift was right over the head, and I was like, this rift is very Torchwood. I mean, it really, they must have had some sort of, because of all of the weevils in Torchwood are very much like the Demogorgons, except for not as much of a flowered face. But I really love the flowered face on the Demogorgons. I thought that was really cool. I also liked I liked the house, the Creel house, being sort of like a base of operations for those kids. And I liked and I really liked the kid, what's his name? Come on.
You're going to say Delightful Derek?
Delightful Derek.
Yeah,
Suck my
great.
fat one.
he was a good add-on for the
awesome.
cast. I liked. It was a good little character, him, actually.
Yeah, and little Holly, finally played by an actress who was given actual lines, because she'd been played by like 3 other actresses in the earlier seasons, but this time this actress,
Mel Fisher.
yeah, sort of munched it and really
well. Yeah, she did very well, actually.
And she's British, of course.
And took scenery for a ride,
And
a bit of a munch. And then the other thing was like, another thing that I really liked about this season was the kind of scientific thing that was going on with that, because they had this project with children, and I just didn't understand what the fuck they were doing with these kids. It seemed really gross and really heinous, and I was just like, I hated all of them. I hated all of the doctors. I just couldn't. I could see no real point in pushing that kind of bullshit on these kids, and that pissed me off a lot. So I was at this point, season 5, where it's all like, fuck you guys. We'll do our own thing, and we as kids will stand against Vecna, the Mind Flayer, and everybody else, all the scientists, all the military people who just kind of sort of blew up in little smokes, like they're gone. I think that was pretty cool. And that's my stuff. Back over to you. How about you guys?
Okay, Ethan, what about you? Any moments what stand out for you, or what you were
Yeah.
keen?
Um, if something like I could nitpick pops up, I probably will go on, and it is a list. But I will say, like, to start off, like things I liked, and I will have to say, probably my favorite, one of my actually favorite moments in this is actually the relationship between Dustin and Steve.
Mm.
Mm.
I felt that was one of the perfect bits of this season, where it's so relatable, like even from in the 80s and even now, where you've seen how they were at the first season, and then suddenly the bromance, as they say, or like best friends, best buddies, how they became, just this great duo. And but I really liked how, again, the relatable part is like how we've gone through this, where when you're growing up, you are learning new things. So we've all been there where Dustin suddenly sees this guy, Eddie, and you think, oh, I've never seen someone like that before, or hear this music, or seen that. And you do sort of like meet other people and get interested in them. And so it's understandable for Steve, where he was like, oh, what about me? I thought we were going to be best buds forever. So I really loved that. That I felt was one of the best moments. And there was some monologues and conversations of this. I could go into detail about this, where I felt, did we really need this? Did it have to go on that long? This was one of the ones I thought, perfect, perfect. This we needed. We
Mm.
needed this because it's relatable for these kids growing up. It's a coming of age 80s story where it's, these two. And then I love to see where they're getting ready for battle and stuff like that. And Steve's like, hey, wait. And, they've got the spear. And he admits saying, I thought, of course, I thought we were going to be best friends forever. And they're saying we could still be best friends. And he admits here, I loved that bit. And, you die, I die. You die, I die. And that I really liked. I actually felt that was one of the monologues and scenes I thought, yeah, that worked. This was perfect. Especially for these two characters who are great. I I praise that one. Really praise that one big time. Um, yeah, just a great scene and great relationship and how they fight and then suddenly become friends. And just to see that happy ending, that was brilliant.
And their race up and speaking of the tower, their race up the tower was them kind of doing
oh
friendship
yeah,
in microcosm.
that was a great bit. I did like the little Susan's already mentioned the bit with the radio station parts. I quite liked how they used certain songs to communicate and stuff. And of course, when they started playing Diana Ross Upside Down, absolutely perfect. Great song, great singer, and an absolutely just perfect. And that's going to be the next one, blasted through the roof. No wonder I couldn't find Kate Bush LPs. They're all sold out. That's going to be the next one. Any Prince? No. Any Diana Ross? No.
Well,
But anyways, I've got them on CD anyway, so I'm okay. But I did like another thing I liked, I will admit, is uh despite what I said about the whole exotic matter and like trying to work that bit out and stuff like that, like how did it get there? How did they just whatever? I did like the build up to certain stuff, like the unnervingness, and because there was some very good unnerving bits where he was sort of like get to the reveal, and when you first watch it for the first time, you are like when they showed like there's something there, it is scary. And I was thinking, what the bloody hell's that? You are thinking, what's this now? what is this now? The unnervingness and the reveal, like this terrifying thing, and then it reveals the all and what this whole world actually is, that it is like a wormhole. It's a bit between there. Some unnerving bits, and even like the reveal of uh Dr. K and her experiments trying to recreate it. That was unnerving. Like I said, I give them praise for some of the unnerving bits in it which were creepy. You know, again, like I said, this is what I mean. These bad guys are experimenting on these poor pregnant women. Well, can we not find out what happened to them? Did they get arrested or something? Did they get discovered?
Yeah, seriously.
You know, you I mean, I love Linda Hamilton, and it was great to see her. I feel like we could have got maybe a bit more, though. Like
Yeah.
some more of her villainry, because I think what we saw of her was a great villain. I don't think I've ever seen her play a villain before, and she really did play a nasty, scary villain who, you wanted to see her get a comeuppance. Said like people find out like this is what they've been doing. No, we don't get that, unfortunately. But some of the unnerving bits, and like I said, like were good, very good, especially like the reveal. Like I liked when Holly wakes up and you see this other world, and I'm thinking, where the bloody hell are they now? What's this? Yeah. And then I saw it was the desert world, and I liked like where Vecna landed. I was like, wait, I thought the upside down was this, so it's still here. This is, and then like you see the beating heart, and you're starting to work out like, what the hell's that? Mm-hmm. So, and I did like some of those moments. I did like the sort of like build up and reveals. Trying to think of other bits. I mean, I did like the reveal of the Mind Flayer, this big kaiju monster, as they call them, a big kaiju, which funny enough they call it Godzilla. Yeah. Godzilla. I liked that, and like how it becomes a big epic battle. It did have some anime flavors to it, actually, which the Duffer Brothers said they were inspired by anime. And in a way, it sort of felt like that, with season 1 being quite small and stuff, and then it gets bigger and bigger and darker and more dangerous, don't it? And we've seen animes like this where it starts off like, oh, nice and nice and nice, and then suddenly it ends on this big bloody like other type of show, where it just becomes explosive and like battle for your life. I'm trying to think. I did like David Harbour, Hopper getting a nice ending like that after what he's been through, and of course, you got me thinking now, like, yeah, how did he get back to being the sheriff? I mean, okay, we could sort of like let that slide and think, well, it's an 80s styled show, so it's part of the story. We need it to just go on. All right, okay. But I liked how he got his little happy ending with Winona Ryder, because I did like those two. As I've mentioned, any scene with Brett Gelman as Murray in it is a win.
Oh my gosh,
I love it.
Good callback. He was great.
He was brilliant. I mean, I love Brett Gelman.
I love that van truck that he drove into the base and then into the upside down. That was so cool.
Yeah, he's just fun, and even like he had some great moments. And I will say, like, great song choice for hearing David Bowie's Heroes, which was perfect. But it was great, and I was real surprised to hear Purple Rain, because that was mentioned by the Duffer Brothers when they said, "Oh, we got a big song we're going to play," because of course, they have to have a big song in each season. We've got a very big song, so you're thinking, well, how could they top this one? And so it was a very big surprise. As soon as Purple Rain started playing, I thought, bloody hell, how much did this cost?
I think the big song was really, I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Who knows?
Who knows? Could have been. Yeah. They suddenly say, oh, Prince is the big one and stuff. They're there in the background going, it's actually We're Alone Now by Tiffany.
Yeah.
but it was great hearing that song. Like anything with Prince, as you know, was great. On a side note, actually, my one little complaint I'm going to throw in, it ends in 1989.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, great, 1989. However, they showed like a cinema, and it said like, Indiana. I remember, of course, I knew what movies I was going to go. Oh, I know what movies are going to come out. And it says Indiana Jones, Last Crusade.
Yeah.
why was there no mention of one of my favorite movies of all time,
Well,
Batman? I'm pretty certain at that point in the year they would have said Batman, Batmania.
well, maybe they just thought Indiana Jones, you know.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. I suppose with the whole adventure and stuff like that, does. But I would have been like, "Where's Batman?" But all jokes aside, um, other favorite moments, because I am trying to think. I did like actually. There was a bit of an X-Men feel to this because I know the kids in the show were X-Men fans because they always mentioned like X-Men comics. There was a bit of an X-Men influence to this one actually. I quite liked where it did feel like these kids are like the mutants and Vecna's Magneto trying to trick them in, and they've got like Professor X and his mutants trying to save these mutants. It almost felt like a bit of an X-Men feel to it sometimes, or a bit of an X-Men influence to it, you know. And I did like that bit where, you know, they're convinced Vecna's right and stuff. We've got powers, we've got this and that. And in typical Magneto fashion, they show like, well, no, he's the bad guy. This guy's wanting this. And they were like, oh, he's the monster. That was a very good bit, actually.
Yeah,
I did like that bit. That was a good, fun little bit.
I can understand where you're coming from with the X-Men. I mean, I don't understand why Vecna gave Will that much power to begin with.
Yeah, I was trying to work that one out. Like, what was it he said? Because they've been communicated or connected so much that he got a bit of his power or something.
He was the first. He was feeding him the first, wasn't he? When he
Yeah.
one, so he was giving him powers to be his eyes, to influence stuff.
Yeah, because
of course, it's going to come back and bite you.
yeah, well, that's it. It's going to come back and bite you because that's how Henry got his powers in the first place.
Yeah.
He was just a normal kid, where you know he got the powers from the mind flayer, and it's sort of passed on and all that stuff.
I mean, also as well, there's one thing, you know, where oh, what's her name? It'll come to me. Holly. She starts wearing Henry's little scout scarf and woggle, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
Why?
So that she looks like the character that's on her necklace.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I suppose it was.
It was making something big out of it, and I'm thinking,
no, it was because she had to look like the
she had that little
character.
figure, and she wanted to look like that sort of wizard girl.
Yeah, well, I thought that'd be a bit more relevant because they made something big out of it, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I suppose it was revealed. I suppose because they revealed, like when you see him in the flashback, he was like a scout kid, weren't he?
Yeah.
But of course, I did like Winona Ryder's bit. You know, that certain line, you beep from mum.
Which that scene sort of was sort of stolen from which movie was it? A Halloween movie. Is it H2O? Where
H2O?
chopped Michael Myers' head off.
Oh yeah, chops Michael Myers. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Similar scene. So there's a lot of little Easter eggs in this.
Yeah.
Too many. I got if I started trying to look for them, even on the second watch I only watched a second time through a few of the episodes.
Yeah.
I got kind of distracted by
I was looking for in the final episode because what did Millie Bobby Brown said in an interview that the final episode is very meta. And I'm looking at it, and I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, Is it? It didn't seem a bit meta to me.
Yeah.
So did she sort of give away that there might be another episode coming?
Yeah, another episode, and it makes you think of that
Hey,
documentary
okay,
theory now,
where
meta.
have you guys heard about this other episode?
It's all online. It's all in the past week.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
you stay in your little own world, don't you, Susan?
I do. I
Yeah,
don't.
I've seen it come up so many times, like people saying, "Oh, this big." Everybody's been losing their minds, and it's actually quite hilarious. But you do wonder, don't you, when as you mentioned, Vecna lives, said on Jimmy Fallon,
She, said
or
the final is the last episode is very meta, and I'm thinking, well, what I watched was not very meta.
yeah, not very meta. If you actually get the context and understand what
Mm.
meta means, that was not meta.
No.
Last Action Hero is meta.
Yeah. So this is what people are going on about the Freddy's new nightmare scenario.
Yeah. Who
Well, we'll,
knows?
we will see. But anything else? I mean, I can't really do any more favorite because you've done most of them. Um, uh, Will's coming out scene was really well done,
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
but
really glad they did. They didn't just like kind of mention it and then blow it off. I mean,
that was
well, mighty
Yeah.
nice of him to end up at that bar and finding love after all
Yeah,
of that.
that was a nice scene actually. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was acted very, very well.
yeah.
Um I did half expect his mates to suddenly jump in and go, "We know." We kind of worked it out. We'll somehow figured because they're quite smart kids. I kept thinking they were gonna something funny was gonna happen to go. Typical kids going, "We know." Yeah, you know. Well, we kind of worked it out anyway, but you're still our best mate.
But
Wow.
yeah, so that was filmed rather well. But for me, it was um, Jamie Campbell Bower who sort of stole this season because he played Henry Creel, he played Vecna, he played Mr. Whatsit. He was playing. And it was also sort of the same person, but different facets and characters.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, he was brill.
And
Great.
I tell you now, if it ever comes back in 5 years' time or something, put him down for the Doctor.
Hey, good choice. Good choice indeed.
Someone who
Absolutely.
someone who can act.
Yes, please. Yeah, because he's got acting chops.
Yeah.
And yeah, oh, that's a good. Yeah, I never thought of that. Him playing the Doctor. Absolutely.
He
Especially
can
the
he
way
can
he
do
is in the
he can
mannerisms and
do, he can do dark.
absolutely.
That's who my money's on. Got you right. Timestamp this.
Yeah, Jamie Campbell. Yeah, him as the Doctor. Absolutely. I was making a joke actually, like because I've been watching Twin Peaks and rewatching it. And I was saying to my brother, if they ever made the Doctor American, Carl McLachlan,
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got the quirkiness.
especially when you look at Twin Peaks, I couldn't help but think of that. It's funny you mentioned that, Doctor, and I was watching Twin Peaks and Carl McLachlan, the way he's like so like what kind of trees are those? Look at that. Ducks on a lake. It's a very Doctor Who thing, isn't it? He acts very Doctor Who like. And I couldn't help but think, do you know what? Carl McLachlan would be a very good Doctor if he suddenly became American.
Mm.
And
But if Russell T Davies has his way in the news this week, oh,
oh god.
you don't want to go there.
But Jamie Campbell, absolutely,
Yeah, he
dude.
was he was so cool.
Especially like,
And then the other thing with that, the way he spent all that time in that in the Vecna costume, and it was, I mean, as wired in and interesting and charismatic in that as he was in his little brown, you know, Mr. What's It suit. And I love the strong nods to A Wrinkle in Time. That
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
that
that was great. Yeah,
not
it
only
made me want to pick up the book actually.
yeah, that was really great. And then the other thing was, you know, I really liked the character of Robin, you know, first of all, I don't know what the fuck happened to her girlfriend, but I also liked her as
Yeah.
a um and I think that the actress Maya Hawke, uh, of course, she's Ethan Hawke's daughter, so
Yeah,
she's
you could
got
really,
that stuff art that
you could,
talent already running
yeah,
through.
you could really see Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman in her.
Yeah, she's quite amazing, and
Yeah, you mean strange that you mentioned that. What did happen to her
Yeah,
girlfriend?
what happened to that?
I
I mean,
don't I don't
she survived.
yeah,
Yeah.
No mention in the last 50 minutes.
no,
Yeah,
who knows?
Another loose end.
yeah. Actually, I will say just because it's not been mentioned, going back to Jamie Campbell, um, I did like the finale of part one where Vecna makes his big reveal, and again, it's a very X-Men anime style scene where all the Demogorgons are killing the soldiers and stuff, which got very gory. I was like, whoa, didn't think it would go this far. That was insane. And
Well,
then when Vecna made his a big appearance, and it was like him killing all the guards, it was a very Magneto anime villain type
Yeah.
thing. And that was a very well done scene. Like even just the grenades, like the pins, he goes boom, boom. Yeah,
but
kind of.
the Mind Flayer did that in one of those earlier episodes where he was just like this amorphous blob, and
Yeah.
he ate people, and
Mm.
he just absorbed the people that were around, and then he had to go back to the stasis point in that I
His
guess
oh his body.
in the wormhole
Yeah.
so that he was able to stay
And
tangible.
can we have just a silent moment for Steve's beamer?
Uh-huh.
Oh God, yeah. Oh,
The poor beamer.
Mm-hmm.
poor Beam.
Didn't make
He
it.
kind of hit a wall with that, you know.
Yeah.
And it went out there. It went out there in the universe, wherever it went.
Yeah. Oh.
So, anything else, or should we go to final say and score?
Um I think we kind of said much really.
You
Like,
know, we'll use the usual other cases when we bring this to an end and we stop recording, when we go, oh, I forgot to say something about that.
yeah. But I think I think we've said like much of like what didn't work, what could have been better, what was great.
Yeah.
Um I think that's it really. For me anyway.
What about you, Susan?
Yeah, I hit my points.
Yeah.
The interesting thing was that this set of stories is completely unique and completely it's uh something that had never I mean, even though it's got a hell of a lot of Easter eggs in the story itself was completely unique. And
Yeah.
we've been, you know, as we've reviewed lots of stuff, we we've been asking for this. We've been asking for something completely unique, and Stranger Things is that now. And I'm damn
So,
happy to
yeah, what is next?
I'm damn
What
happy
are the,
to have
Yeah.
watched it.
My fear though is like I hope they don't sort of milk it too much, like The Walking Dead sort of got way too much and stuff, and like all these crazy spin-offs. And because I'm happy with what they've done here.
Yeah.
And I just hope they sort of, like I said, they don't milk it. I know they're supposed to be doing an animated series of Stranger Things.
That's supposed to be a prequel, apparently.
Yeah, supposedly the prequel. If it works, it works. You know, great. I'm keen to see it. And they said they want it to be more like, I suppose, if you remember the real Ghostbusters or something like that, like from the A's, an animated series like that, kind of like that. If so, great. I'm happy. And if it works, it works. But sometimes I'm worried, like if they start to milk it, they might add in too many things. We will start to notice them and go, well, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
How does that work? Where does that fit in? How come that was never pointed out? Or do you get what I mean? You know, they've done this with Marvel and they've done this with The Walking Dead and other big things where it just gets boom, boom, boom. And you think, hold on a minute.
Well, time will tell. That's all I can say.
But yeah.
So we'll go to final say and score then. Ethan, what would you give this out of 10?
Um Oh, good question. I suppose I'd give it uh I could have given it a 10 out of 10, but there are bits and stuff. But I'm gonna say 9 out of 10.
All right, that's
9
fine.
out of
That
10.
is fine.
9 out of 10 for this, for what they've
Still a
delivered
good
with it.
score. Still a good score. So, Susan,
I will give this 9.5 transmitter towers out of 10. And um, I would like to let you guys know that if you look at the actual uh, letter signification on that radio station, that's actually a real radio station in Indiana or Illinois. Anyway,
Oh, Indiana.
that's a real one here.
Oh.
So
so,
anyway, that's
so
all that. So
right, me, I'm going to give this. Oh, there is just a few little niggles for me, so I'm going to deduct something. I'm going to give it 9.5. Suck my fat ones out of 10.
Hey.
Uh, that's gonna be printed on a t-shirt somewhere, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
With it suck my fat one. Um, all I've got to say now is that was our little get-together review of season 5 of Stranger Things. It's been great to talk to Susan and Ethan. You guys out there, have you watched the series? What did you think of it? Get in touch. Leave a message below on this video when I put it up. Also, if you'd like to join us, you've got to be 18 and over. But leave a message on the videos or any of our videos.
Yeah.
Like to join, all you need is a working camera and a working microphone on the device you use. And the only other thing is when or if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, please remember to press the bell notification button and you'll get notified every time we put one up.
Yeah.
I think that's it now, isn't it, Susan?
One last thing though, before we wrap it up, I just want BBC, if you've got any brains left, and us fans of Doctor Who, look back on Jamie Campbell in that very cool waistcoat and pocket watch suit.
Mm.
There's something there. There's something there. And look at when he was like doing the documentary, like when he was showing around the set and his English accent was coming out. He's like, "Oh, hello." Just saying.
Yeah. Just saying.
Just saying.
Not the,
Imagine
not
him opening the door to the task going, "Oh, hello. Let me show you
not
around."
the,
Just
not the person who Russell T Davies is blowing rings up their ass at the moment, because we don't want Whoopi Goldberg as the Doctor.
oh my God, don't you dare.
Have you seen his posts?
No. I don't follow him anymore.
He's all over it. He's in America. He's all over it, and they've been making videos together. He's been putting them on his social media.
Oh, whoop de bloody do.
He's got, he's got. Oh yeah, Doctor Who this, Doctor Who that. Oh, maybe Star Trek crossover. That. No, we don't want it. Thank
No,
you
no,
very
no.
much.
No, Jamie Campbell, please.
Yeah, right. So I would like to thank Ethan for joining me. It's been good seeing you again.
Mhm.
And Susan, as always, it's a pleasure. So until next time, guys, please be safe out there. And remember, look up to the skies where you will always find stranger things.